Hi everyone. So the month that never ends, January, I finally have that all wrapped up, and so I wanted to do a flip through. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my channel, and we are going to do a flip through of January. Doing a Hobonichi Avec walkthrough of January. One of the things that I'm really loving is doing a page all about the glimmers and the little things that happen in the day. Well, picking one thing that happened during the day that was kind of a bright spot in my day, and then adding in stickers later on, because I usually add the stickers later. Like you can see here over on February, I do a pencil circle for where I want to put the sticker, and then that way I can just catch up later on. But this is January. I absolutely love it. And let's go over to the daily pages. So here I have a bunch of quotes and clear stickers and a photo. And all of these are things that did not make it onto a daily spread. Like I had it planned for a daily spread, but it just didn't make it there. So here it goes. It kind of makes a fun collage, which I'm really enjoying. And I have the same thing going for February. So February's looks like that. And I have a Subway wrapper that didn't make it on the page, so I'm gonna put that on there. So for January, it was interesting. I started with this title, Let's Get Outside, and starting each of my days with some sort of title. And for the first, I did Let's Get Outside, and that's because we all wound up getting outside together as a family, and my husband and I walked laps. And I also wanted to talk about what the day included. And so sometimes what's really fun is thinking about what the day included and then adding a sticker. So here I have a sticker, and it is about journaling and scrapbooking, doing a sweaty workout, family dinner, and then getting to try to get a family photo. Over here, I did 5 things that I'm looking forward to this year, just like what was off the top of my head that I could think of. And then I decorated my page with scrapbooking pieces from an Ali Edwards kit. So that's how I started the first day of the year, which was a lot easier than last year because I've already had a lot of practice. So that's the nice thing about already having done a journal. You don't feel as nervous. At least I wasn't as nervous. The next day, I wound up doing Let's Get again. I did not intend to do that, but I actually noticed when I got over here, I was like, do I keep saying the same thing? And I thought about keeping it going for the rest of the week, but it just didn't work out that way. So I have Let's Get Crafty. And I based my whole color scheme on this little quote that I found on Instagram. I had a clear sticker of it, and I found some blue like paint splotch tape, and I talked about getting crafty, what my one word is, or just the word I want to keep in mind. And then I jokingly said 100 points for the mom taxi because I was driving my kids around all kinds of different places. For Friday, I discovered this project from the I Love It All shop, Monica. She did 5 things Friday, and I had every intention of doing the project. I think I've done it here and there, like I've stuck notes on a Post-it note to like fill out the prompts, but I have not been consistent, which, you know, that's okay. But I did 5 things Friday, and I just did ing words, and I actually think this wasn't even the prompt for Friday. I just made my own prompt. So I wasn't even paying attention to what I was supposed to be doing for this project from the beginning, but that's okay. And then I did some stats here and also included a first. I love doing that for any of the months, talking about the first library pickup or the first show we really liked, something like that. It's always fun to include that. Moving into the first weekend, my son had a soccer game, and I left a pencil mark here because I thought I might stamp a soccer ball. But then I was like, you know what? How about I just do a circle of, you know, some sort of marker? And since I'd already decided to do Christmas takedown with a green tree, I went with a green circle Then I got a clear sticker of a soccer ball. And that way now the soccer ball kind of looks green, and I really love how that turned out. I also did an audio message doodle, and I love how that turned out as well. I love when you try like little doodles and they turn out awesome. I also have the clear stickers here for some different like word phrases that I can add to my page. Again, this one started with something I found on Instagram, a screenshot, and it actually coordinated well with a Valentine's bird that I had got. So I just ran with these colors. I think it's like a peach and an orange. So I love it. I love how it turned out. And I started with For the Love of a Big Breakfast, talked about a movie that we watched, and then just a bullet point list of what happened during the day. The following day, I had a new workout challenge, so I used that as kind of my main story. And then I talked about a cooking fiasco that I had trying to, I think it was cook some crock pot taquitos or something. It was a whole hot mess. And then this washi tape, I believe, is a vertical washi tape. So I had to cut all of these little emojis, and I think it's from the Coffee Monster Co. So I cut them so that way I could have them the way that I wanted. For this day, we went back to school, so I definitely did back to school, and I had a Coffee Monster Co. sticker, Be Kind. So I went with the green and used some flower shapes from Ali Edwards, along with this phrase right here, and another screenshot of a quote. And my kids let me get a picture, so I had to include that as well. My friend gave me a pin for my work lanyard that said self-love tablets. So I just copied it and like doodled what I think it looks like, and also copied the same colors. So that's what I used to put together my spread based on the colors of that pin. I also tried a really huge title here. I kind of like it. I mean, I just like the fact that I can keep practicing with my different titles. And I jotted down 4 quick little stories and talked about how at work we're doing subtraction and regrouping, which is always tricky. I'll say that the teacher that I work with, she has the coolest poem that she has to teach the kids, which is there more on the floor? Go next door. Or more on top? No need to stop. I love that. It really helps the kids to remember when they're trying to do subtraction. Over here, the teacher that I work with, I told her about compression gloves, which I love for my hands, and she was absolutely thrilled. Like, they will help her immensely. My husband also got me a lunch surprise of a pizza, and then of course we had the devastating fires in LA, and that's where I based my colors off of. And I like how with January, I usually think of blues and greens and grays, and I like how my January spreads are just going for different color schemes and a little bit brighter than I expected. For the 10th, I wanted to do 10 facts because it was the 10th, and I have this amazing stamp for the 10th, so I decided to do 10 and then January and make a list of 10 stories. And I just added in a few different Coffee Monster Co. stickers and washi tape, and I loved this so much that I've decided to do it for the rest of the year. That's just going to be my formula for the page. Over here, I had these January stickers from the Coffee Monster Co., and I was trying to figure out a way to use them more, so that's why I put them there. And then this is the doodle that got so out of control. I had to leave it alone. Once I put the added face on here, I just told myself, walk away, it is what it is. But my daughter and I were having some issues with her hair because it was just so tangled, and I wanted to draw a girl that had messy hair. I could have found a clear sticker, but I thought, you know what, I could doodle this. But like I said, it got out of hand, so I did the best I could and called it good enough. And then I had a funny story about my son, and that kind of kicked off the weekend. For Sunday, I went to go help my mother-in-law. So I talked about being the computer squad, made up of just one person, me. I used Mandy Ford clear stickers, and I think I recolored a few of them. I know I recolored the laptop, but I wanted to talk about how I helped my mother-in-law, and then talk about how I was doing some winter walking when it was very, very cold, and also my daughter working with Opa to make fruit bowls. It was the best to see them working together. Starting off Monday with a really cool image of Merida. She's one of my favorite princesses, and I had this die cut saying yes to all of this. So I ran with it. Blues and just a really bright, bold color scheme. And then the person that I love doing workouts with, I think I've done workouts with her program for 4 years, Coach Kel. She said, inhale energy, exhale tiredness, and I loved that. So I just made it really big and then did a bubble around it. And Mondays are always so busy, so I just did a breakdown by the time of what went on. Really fun page, and I love putting together these pages and trying to figure out which colors match whatever happened during the day, or based on whatever I want to use from my little sticker bucket that you guys have seen. Next up is a really fun page. I know I say that about all of them, but truly I cannot get enough of journaling. But my husband, again, surprised me with lunch. He texted me and said, hey, this new place opened. I'm going to get you some tacos. And my friend Jen Boom Creates, she is always saving ephemera. And I noticed that my taco wrapper had this word, street tacos, and a taco. So I saved it and I was so excited. I showed it to Jen because I was like, that is really cool. So I decided to go with black and white and some gray. I also talked about the moon, the full moon with my daughter, so I included information about that. And then this is where I included the subtraction poem that I mentioned a little bit ago. And then today's notifications. I like to do that every once in a while, just like what was on my phone that popped up as a notification. Super easy list, and it's awesome. The next day, I think I took this day off because of some appointment I had, and then my daughter had an appointment, but I was able to go on a hike with my husband and change my scrapbook room around. And then I had this cluster here with a clear sticker. This is actually a 3x4 journaling card, but I shrunk it down to fit this spot, layered in another sticker, and then another sticker here. And I wound up with a really tiny space right here, and I couldn't figure out what to put there. So I decided to just put an itty bitty picture, and it's hearts in nature. So anytime you find a heart and it's in nature, that's kind of what it's called. And I know it's gonna be hard to see, but in case you're curious, it is the rock right there. So I don't know if you can see that, but I love finding hearts in nature, and it just makes me so happy. Moving on to the 16th, it again was a super busy day. I had this brand new washi tape. I don't remember where I got it from. I think I got it from jetpens.com, but I loved it. And I decided to, well, I started off by writing out what happened during the day, and then I had this section here, and I was thinking, well, what am I going to put there? I already did all the information. So I decided to put my selfie of my outfit because I'd happened to take it, and then go ahead and stamp there. So this turned out so cool and just different from my other designs. Over on Friday, I had blues and pinks, and I was kind of playing off the Time Hop dinosaurs. I don't know if you guys know the app Time Hop, but if you connect it to different apps, it will show you photos and videos from previous years. And I've been doing it for 8 years, so I included it there. And a coworker gave me a donut, so that was my story to kick off Friday. And I also talked about family time as well. This weekend, I went to my friend's birthday party, so I did party day, and then I did a little collage in the pick frame app and just added it right there. Of course, it turned out a little bit smaller than I wanted, but that's okay. I just used the space down here to add in stamping, a clear sticker, and then more ephemera, which is very exciting. So ephemera right there, and also here, because I took my friend out to breakfast the next day after the party, and we had a birthday breakfast, so I talked about that, and then some chores I did, and what I was reading, and also what I listened to while I drove down there and drove back. The following day was Martin Luther King Day. I absolutely loved this beautiful illustration, and oh my goodness, I don't think I can read who it's from, but I will link it in the description box. But I printed it out on clear sticker paper and then tilted it and wrinkled it. So whoops, didn't mean to do that. I also talked about soaking up the winter sunshine and getting outside, the presidential inauguration, and I coordinated the colors there because I was trying to pull in the colors from this wonderful illustration. And then my today done list. The next day was the Tuesday that felt like a Monday. So I used this fun bunny sticker from Soft Paper Studios, I believe. And Onyx Storm came out, and so my book was delivered, and I added in a dragon. I had this left over from my reading journal process video book review. I'll link that up in the eye, but so I had it left over and decided to go ahead and use it. And throughout the week, I kept track of the songs that my kids picked in the car, so that was a fun little thing to try out. The next day, I loved my outfit, and I felt like really fancy in it, so I decided to make my main title "For the Love of a Great Outfit" and discuss that. Also talked about stories from work, and then an update on my space. This one, I didn't have a lot to write about for the day, so I used the Coffee Monster Co. Q&A, and I forgot to title it. I can always go back and title it. But it's a Q&A, and I just picked some random ones that I wanted to fill out. I also have a photo of my husband and I at a soccer game. And then I took a Disney princess quiz. So I included a picture of Belle, but it really didn't turn out, it didn't lay down very nicely. I should have put it on white paper, but I like that quote, and I wrote down what the quiz result was right there. So sometimes my husband can take the kids to school and I get a few extra minutes to myself. I can turn on a song, listen to my music, and just have a bunch of minutes to myself, and it makes all the difference, and I love it. So that was the title. Dad's taking the kids to school. Also talked about work stories, a project at work, and then finally tackling the recipe binder. Over here, we start on the weekend, and I said, let's do this weekend, and my hopes for the weekend. I also tackled the kitchen baking cupboards, listened to a fantastic book, The Day the World Came to Town. And then for the end of the weekend, I loved this little calendar piece, so I cut it out because I'm always trying to make sure my steps are about the same on weekends. I didn't quite make it, but I did get a lot for the day. Also, again, talking about baking and how I finished up the kitchen cupboards and how I talked on Instagram about different jeans and what are people's favorite jeans. Moving into Monday, I used a bunch of Brandy Kincaid a quote and stickers there and there, my son's big achievement, and then I said, you want to know what my Monday motivation was? Junk food. So we like to get junk food on Monday, and then I just said my order. Then we have a funny story with a tattle form and kids being upset with me because I was explaining the correct rules for Foursquare. So that was pretty funny to include. Also got a bunch of washi tape from the Coffee Monster Co. My coworker gave me a treat. And then this talks about how long January is and then the rest of the year. For the snake, I included a quote from Positively Present and then what our different zodiac ones are. And I actually discovered that my daughter is a snake. So I didn't remember that. The 30th was the 100th day of school. Again, I love talking about work stories. It makes it so easy, and I have a job that I can talk about, you know, what goes on at work. I also notice things like on the road. Well, my son does a lot too, so he notices things, and I just titled it Random Stories from the Road. And then making things better one donut at a time, and then wrapping it up with this right here. Over here, my daughter was starting on her play, or finishing it up, I guess I should say, finishing it up, and I got some new jeans that came in the mail, and then random facts about today. So that is January. I did not expect this video to be that long, but I really enjoy sharing these pages, what I've put on these pages, what helps me, tips and tricks. And so I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing this walkthrough and hearing all the chatty stuff that I have to say. And I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. All right, have a great day. Bye.